There we go. I'm showing live. Why was that working earlier? Very confused now. Such a bad host. All right, so finishing up a few of these ones. These ones are probably just going to go over with a few of the extra bumps and stuff like that I have. So, a little bit of acetone here. Just get the last of the paint that's up on all of these. The last majority of that I have. Yeah. And don't forget it. It helps to have my basing stuff. I actually put these things down. I need the primer? No. I don't need the satin finishing there. All right. Just the last of these real quick. Now it is like nasty green on it. So, let's see how much of that comes off. Not a whole lot, actually. That seems to be mostly in the bullet. I'll just be doing this while I'm waiting for everyone to come in here. That way they don't miss anything. The Fooly Coolies on Marathon in the background, so a bunch of punk-ass kids yell about stuff. Yeah. Neutralize it. Yeah, it's pretty well stained up in there. That's all right, though. Get this lathered up a little bit. Clean that up. Use that for later. And then, what was the other one? What's the other one I cleaned? Oh, duh. This one's the one with like all the super red on it. Alright. So, it looks like it's going to peel right off. So, I'll make sure I get the acetone off the good lacquer paint. Ah, I already ruined it. Yep. I put it in a jar. These are all the crap ones anyway, so it doesn't really matter to me too much. One. Put the acetone away because I don't need it for anymore. It's mostly more white. All right, so lacquer's all around, but it don't really matter. Like I said, I got the new brushes. These are just the cheapo junk ones. They're like a 50 cents a piece. What I'm doing is I got this soap here for it. What I'm doing is kind of keeping them clean from what's not stained on the actual bristles themselves for it. Keeping them wet in my big pickle jar. All right. Comes out here. A little lacquer. Or lather, I should say. Kind of a tip to it. So it suds up for it. Gives it back its shape for it. Kind of what it is right there. So it stays in shape for it. You can use it later. So, no, I don't want to do that. Let's put it on top so it doesn't fall in and get all greasy grimy for it. All right. So I got a few different models I want to work on tonight for that then. I did these earlier at work because it was kind of slow, and I can kind of sit in front of my computer and do it. I'm talking to people. So I bought a bar set the other day, and I did these. These came out pretty good. Kind of a darker brown for it then, so it's got a wood texture. I'll take pictures of these because these don't ever show up really good on camera from it then. And suffice to say, they're all pretty much dungy brown to begin with from it then. These will look better. Something else. Oh, some flat colors from that. The question now is, which guy am I going to work on then? Because I have a bunch of them here. I got one of the female clerics I kind of want to do, but I also have a dwarf cleric, and this guy I've been using as my spiritual weapon because I don't actually have one for it. This guy's pretty gnarly with a big-ass hammer. It'll pick it up. Of course it won't. It's too focused on me. So I'm thinking this guy from it. I'm trying to think what colors to use because I have quite a bit. The other one I was going with, I can pull them out over here. So with kind of a red and brown one. It's a bit too shiny for my taste. So I got to dull that out with the varnish later from it then. So I'm thinking, with this guy, maybe make him something like a blue gold, with maybe some green in there from it then. So I'm thinking like blue green from it. I'm thinking the hair is probably going to be a really dark one for it. Full in for the beard, everything else like that. And then the hammer is going to be like a stone or some kind of black and metal for it. So I think we'll start with him then. Got my putty for basing stuff. So they don't dry out. Load up a little bit. Stick it on here. And the good news is, unlike last time where I was just testing this out, now you guys can't see the gray. So these guys are already pre-primed. So we're not going to have to waste too much time with it. We're just going to go straight into shading, and this guy is going to be one of the relatively easy ones to start off with. So let me turn that around from it, and let me make sure this is closed because I showed this twice up today with it open. And as you can see, I got these little black dots on me because I got it all over myself. I got it all over myself. All right, so again, it's a really nice black wash. You guys already cleaned up from it then. So we're going to go ahead and start with this guy. Let's come up with some nice details. See where the dark shades and pitting are on him. From there. So, same thing as before, really runny, really dark black. This comes in from it then. Also extended the base, I got some of this modeling putty. Let's put on for it then. So it's not all just same kind of crud like it's on the black base the whole way through. So I'm going to need to pick up more black later on down the road because I am completely out of it. Everything else I had left of it, I put into this wash and shade. This guy actually comes out really cool looking like that. Nice. All right, so I can see the big divot pots that are going to be in here. So when I start off with this guy, I'm going to definitely do the darker bases first and pull it up from the lighter. It looks like most of this is just going to be deep wells around him because there's so many like creases to his actual suit itself then. Again, it's not really picking it up too well from it. Let me see if I can adjust that real quick. With my mouth. Let's see, can I adjust my camera controller? No, of course not. All right, whatever. So let me adjust it. Probably light fixtures. All right. Base stuff. Just go over them. Real nice. Just hit all the pockets for it then, so we get the baseline for everything. Something's pulling up too much. Bring it in when the brush is dry and just soak it up like I did last time. Just right away. It's got a nice skull. Pops kind of bit on the tip of the hammer. So that's definitely going to get some pitting with the black on there then. Comes through with the wash. Just have it sit on these things really nice. So I'm going to be multitasking with the bigger guy because there's literally just him that I'm working with for it. I have the other ones which maybe I'll come around to later for it if I want to. I think right now it's going to be best just to focus on one guy. I got off tomorrow, so probably going to be doing a long stream tonight of this. All right. Plastics come through. Super duper duper dark. More defined detail for them. Again, it's too much black, so we're gonna let that sit on there a little bit. Let it soak up and see where it starts dribbling. So, that's fine. Go ahead and start pulling up all this excess black that I don't need. It's not sitting around there, taking up space. That's how much water it was. Whole water. All right. No, let's try with this one. This one ought to pull it up really quick. Yes, I'm thinking blue and green on this guy. And for the metal, should I go with silver? I think silver would probably highlight really good with the green and blue. All right, so so what color should I start off with then from here? I don't want to go with my glasses just yet. Again, green would probably be the overarching type for it then. Let's start off with green then. Let's see. I go with green. Where do I start off? With blue-green. Again, thinking blue-green is the base, and then I can do the highlights with the green, so it pulls up a little bit more from there. So let's see. So that one, this is one I made the other day. That green will come up a little bit more of the green, the dark stuff that's on here then before it. I should probably let one of these in the meantime then while I'm waiting for the green on this to dry. All right, let's start off with the green-blue. In the meantime, let me go ahead and pull these out. These are the super duper nice ones. I haven't used yet. These are nice. So let's start off with one. I don't know. Spot? No. No spot. Where the hell is it? This guy. Ooh. This guy's nice. These guys nice and super duper clean. So now we're back to these dudes again. Alright, so it's mixed up pretty good. Oh, you. Even a drop. All right. Nice and thinned out. All right, same thing with the primer from the last time, where it would really thin coats and you slowly build up for it then. So you can build the color as you go along with it. That way, you keep the detail that's underneath built into the plastic. Work up any bare spots that start showing up as you go along from it there. From that then. These are really nice ones. Oh man, I did spoil myself. These things were pretty cheap too. I got these on sale for like $10. Oh man. Okay, yeah, so I went the right decision by doing the blue first, because I can see where this is going to pop when I start doing the greens onto it. So have the darker teal, green, blue underneath from it then. When it gets around to the green, those are going to pop with the highlights, the shades, the raised areas for it then. And the blue underneath then will create this shadowing effect on top of that, giving a depth to it. It looks like I'm pinstriping this. I really like these Citadel paints too. These ones mix really good when you get them set up with the Vallejo, the airbrushing stuff. Get them on, use them a lot more than you normally would be able to. So underneath. Thin your paints appropriately. Thin your paints correctly. So use them over and over and over again. He does have a shirt underneath. It does look like that's overlaying it a bit. Let's see. Belt, belt. Mostly belt. Okay. So, add a little bit of this. Oh man, this is nice. Yeah, coming into the detail work is going to be really nice. You can see it a little bit. He's trying to build up. And I'll take pictures of this guy when I'm done with him too, just like all the other ones. Let's go with this then. Getting some of the spots I don't want it to, that's fine. Because unless I'm doing some kind of metallic that needs it to shine through, most of these colors you can put on top of each other. And they'll sit right on top of each other with no problem for it. The ones you have to worry about are the really metallic ones, the really light ones like yellows. Yellows need a white base underneath of them, or they will just come out cruddy. And that goes with pretty much every yellow I've ever worked with. Spray paint yellow, this kind of yellow, the Vallejos, even the ones with the primer base yellows from it then, if they do not have a white base for it, that black just comes through and it just ruins it. It turns into this like really dark, murky, crappy kind of green look for it. And you do not want that then. Second thing too with brushes, especially ones like this then, you don't want to point stuff with it then unless you're doing something like eyes for it. It's not something you're willing to crap with it then. You want to pull and actually brush on everything you're doing. Because if you push it onto something with the tip, poke it like that, you're going to end up ruining the tip and you'll start getting these bent ones that are flexed all over the place then. Different angles, the threads on them. Actual bristles will start deforming and looking weird. You don't want that. So I think that's going to be brown. All right, so I'm going to have to come back over that then to mess that up. A little bit more wet so it doesn't get up into the fillet. Ruin it. So you don't want to ruin these. These are really nice ones. All right, so blue like that coming up underneath. Yeah, you know what? Let's get the underside. The stomach like that too. Probably do like a white or a gold trimmer on the outside then. Well, all together. All right, so I'll go ahead and here just a little bit. Just a little wetter. There we go. All right. Massage just a little bit. Soak it up. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, where'd I put the cap? Oh, here we go. Push this off to the side now, because I'm going to be coming back to that one. That's a really nice one. Got to figure out what else I want to do for it then. I'm thinking lighter brown would probably be the way to go for the underneath then, so it pops it. But then, what am I going to do about the leather then? Do I want to do the pants like that, or do I want to do the pants and everything? I don't think yellow is going to work very good for it then. I don't want to go with just a neutral like a gray. So I'm going to have 2 different colors for that. Those are my browns. There is no black. Black does not exist here anymore. Ah! I got a color that'll look good for the underneath for the pants. This will make it pop really well. I'm going to go with purple. Really, really nice dark purple. I'll do this for the pants. All right. Oop. Get purple all over myself. Make myself dirty today. Push these guys over here. Oh, that's cool. A smaller one. That's the flat. Oh yeah. Few drops. I'm definitely gonna thin this out. Purple. It's a really spectacular one too. Look at this. Look at this monstrosity. See it now? I'm gonna turn it into the light. That. Look at that purple. Oof. That's nice. Make that for his pants. All right. Just a little too thin. Off from there. So I'm not getting the fullet. And a little bit more. There we go. That's the right amount of thin. That's what I want. Just a little wet. Clean it up. Pull it up in here. Now, let's get that purple on the pants. It's a little thin for it. I think I'm going to come back around. Get a thicker one on top. And that's going to be on the brown then. So let's come back around and do the painting on that as well. All right. Good. It's almost light enough to be a wash at this point. There we go. Oh, why not? Let's pull a little bit into shirt here, give a little bit of a highlight to it. Nice to the elbows. See the purple for later. That's definitely a wicked ass purple. God, last time I used that was on a dragon. For its underbelly. And a black one. Where is it? Skin color. Oh, here we go. Duh, they're right over here. Brown's going to come out something like this then for the leather. So I'm going to come over with one of the flesh tones for it on top. For the highlighting for it then for the raised parts. Then I'm going to make some fake ones with the darker brown for it. Pops out with it. All right, so start with this. This one's a flat. This one I've already thinned a bunch now. This is probably one of the browns I use the most for stuff. So let's go ahead and just make our base, really thin base. The boots and leather, pretty much everything that's good brown on this guy. Do. What? I'll put the brown on the green. Then I also have to go over it as much. Trying to find an angle I can actually paint and see what I'm painting at from here. Holy shit, that scared the shit out of me. Thanks, Jay. Scared the shit out of me. Do. What else do I got? Live stream up. Painting. Yeah, we can hang. Hang out tomorrow. I got nothing to do tomorrow. So I was, for all intents and purposes, laid off. They didn't offer me a job in the department below, which I technically start training for it on Monday. But depending on what goes on with it, then I might just go for the training and then bail out on it. Meantime, then I'm putting in resumes elsewhere, other places, for that game job from it. Also working on portfolio pieces as well as game designs and a bunch of other stuff for that then. Because at the end of the day, what I want to do is become an entrepreneur and own my own studio, making games and whatnot. which I don't know if you know is really goddamn hard with everyone competing and then Kickstarter and everything else going on with it. Okay, you should do a Kickstarter. Hey, you should do this. Stuff like that. Sure, word of mouth and everything else like that. Talked to a bunch of people from it, and they all suggest that. But I need money and expenses in the meantime then for it. I need something that's concrete for it. And I think the first game technically want to work on, one I want to actually pitch off for it, would be an adventure game. Kind of like what you have with Telltale and The Walking Dead. I've talked to people about this numerous times for it then. I wanted to have it in like an office place. Kind of like Office Space, but have the aesthetic design of it, where essentially the people you're playing as are Muppets. So it's their day-to-day jobs from it. Essentially an evil corporation of sorts that does book publishing for really shit people. Pop-up notification. What do I get? Let's close a little bit from here. All right, so I'm definitely seeing some issues right now. It seems some of the primer they use doesn't look like it adhered very well to the hands. So it looks like I'm going to end up having to come back and either do another couple coats on top of them, do something else down onto them a little bit thicker. Because that does not look like it wants to stick. It's thinning out on the sides then even more than when I thin the paint to. If it thins it too much, it'll just peel away from it and leave a bare spot there, which I don't want. Time is it? Oh, 11:20. Feels later for some reason. It's because the air's not working. I think I'd be a bit more talkative if there's someone in here. It's like I'm all alone. God damn it, these are really good brushes. I feel really stupid for not having spent like $10 on these earlier when I saw them for sale. Stone in there. Go for the brown. So the leather. Come up with the lighter stuff then for it. So that's going to be the beard then. All right. The brown off to the side for now, and I'm going to let this guy sit here. Well, I go ahead and grab this. This is a log. We're going to make it dark as shit. Which? I got a yoo-hoo. There. This guy, I'm going to cheat a bit. Use the big brush. So, what do we do? I'm going to take a big glop of it. That's it right here. Set that over here in case I need more. Just close it up a little bit. And 1, 2, 3. Thin it up a bit. Airbrushing oil is really, really good. All right. Ooh. Ooh. Look at that. Look at that surface coverage. Just a happy little tree. So I'm going to need a little bit more, or need to pull it from somewhere else on the tree stump itself. So in case anyone's wondering what this is a cut up paper towel roll that was bent up and crushed. And then I took glue and a paper towel and wrapped it around it with the glue then. So the bottom's all covered from it then. The inside's all like that then, which is why it looks like a busted up log. Kind of makes all the imperfections onto it kind of stand out purposely onto it, so it looks really, really good. After that, I took toilet paper, wrapped a whole bunch of rounds onto it. Pull more from it. See if I can pull just a little bit more. There we go. Maybe too much brown, but I got a bunch of brown. These for browns for like leather and a bunch of other stuff, which surprisingly, there's not too much of it on most of these guys then. Most of them are really tiny pieces then, so they can pop and stand out except for like the hair. So it's all the tiny pieces. It's the other colors that I don't have enough of. All right, so the rimming from here. So definitely going to get my fingers dirty when I start doing this a little bit more in depth. So it's probably going to be for one of the other guys' campaigns because currently my AL group is running Tomb of Annihilation. At the same time, everyone's so low level, I haven't been able to do anything. Also running Return of the Lizard King at the same time with it then. And that's been fun. Most of our guys have almost died quite a few times a game. And I just finally got some magic items the other day for my character. Fortunately, the first one I got was a Mithril Breastplate, which my split armor is better than. So, as we're doing some weird, crazy tactics for it, it's of no use. And I offered it to anybody else who wanted it, because once you take it, the most you can do is trade it off. Nobody else wanted it, because nobody else could wear it, because everyone else is a spellcaster of some kind. Or it's even more useless than what for me. All right, so it's kind of a nice. I think I said that. Yeah. All right. I'm not going to do too much on the inside of this one because this one's going to be mostly just wood and moss for it. But I need at least the dark base. So when I do it, oh man, my fingers. Let's go down on it. Oh, that's too much. That's going to run like crazy now, ain't it? Ugh. Yeah. Yep, that's ready. It's going to be too wet. Oh well. Imperfection makes this look better. Just on the edges on the bottom, because again, this is going to be a log that fell over, so most of it's going to be mossy and cut and granular wood that's up underneath of it then, so it's not going to be like bark onto it too much from it, at least not in this sense. It's like super duper dark. All right, so this is just a really fine base for it, so you get all those under textures for it, because those will pop right away when I start doing the dry brushing on top with the lighter brown. You'll see it go really, really good. I think you guys will like it. First things first, I need to, outside of washing this brush, I need to wash my hands because I have crap all over them. Remember Johnny the other day, it's like, yo man, you got really nice hands. It's because you take care of yourself. You got nice hygiene. Wow. That dude. Inside out, so you get the other side of it. Don't let that one just soak in the water then, because that is a lot of brown. I'm going to back up a little bit. Is this one? No, this one. Here's my other secret ribbon. That's a really, really big one. That's just a bigger bristle. So, we're going to do the fun stuff. And I love doing dry brushing. Because one, it gives a really good texture for the highlighted raised areas. And two, it's really cost effective on paint. You don't have to thin anything. In fact, if anything, you take a dollop of it, like so, and you just get it messy. You know, people that don't know what dry brushing is, essentially you take the paint and just dry it out. Now, this is on an area. Not be too conspicuous. All right, so a little bit more from it. This is definitely a bit more dried out than I was hoping. I did just too much. There we go. There we go. So what it does is it catches the raised areas then and leaves all the pits up underneath. Really nice and dark. So you get that texture onto it. It creates the shapes and makes it look like tree bark altogether for it then. So I'll take a picture of this then because it looks way better in photos. This camera is really crappy. It doesn't focus really well. Job. So you see from the rest of the plate, this is pretty much how I've been doing the dry brushing for it. Spreading it around everywhere else I can go. bit. All right, here. Actually, just glob it in a bit. Do the dry brush as it starts weaning out in color. So I'm going to come in with the beige, make the inner side of the wood. Show like the tree trunk with the bark on the outside all dark, and then the inside be a lot lighter. Same with the base for it then too. So there. I'm done with the brown for now. Meantime, how's Big Guy doing? Okay. Mostly clean. Mostly there. I don't think these will ever go back to being the way they were when they were straight. Well, they were just straight white when I first originally had them. All right. That's you over here. Where's beige? That is skin color. There's beige. This one's going to be a little more of a doozy like the other one. So. It's lighter wood, so it looks like it's falling down. When you set it down, it's like, oh, okay. So it fell over. I'll do the same thing for the inside, which is why I'm using a really big brush. So this one I'm going to use wet. In there, I'll dry a bit. Oh, it's almost midnight. Cool. All right, so let's go ahead and how do I do this one? This one. That's when I started the base with the light blue-green. So we get the under moss going with it. So much dry brush is semi-wet. Now, I want to do this on all sides. This one will probably normally sit like that then. So then moss is going to come up on the sides here. Let's get the flat side over here then. So enough of the blue. Just do a pattern like it's creeping across it. Just a bunch of happy little accidents. No mistakes in painting. Just figuring out how to make it look good. Correct it for somebody else's. No idea what they're looking at. Alright, so we get the moss on that side. Roll it over then in case I get the moss on top of it. So big stuff. So alright, back there. Now, normally I'd wash this, but this is going to work to my advantage because of the way the colors work. So, pop it over to the green. I'm just going to take the green from that. Same thing like before. I'm not going to dry brush it. I'll go with a very light, wet one from it. But rather than going in, because these brushes are crap already to begin with, and this is one of the thicker ones actually made for like oil paints, we're going to dab it. I know I said not to do this earlier. That was with the smaller brushes because you'll ruin the tips on it. These ones are much thicker, made for much denser paints. But I've already ruined these for grabbing onto the oil. Maybe these have been treated. So these will be fine for it then. And then when I'm done with that, dry brush a little bit in between with what's left over. Make it look like the moss is kind of grabbed onto all the other bits. And the last bit, we can pop the yellow. Like I was saying before, don't use the yellow on the dark, otherwise it'll come up muddy. That is exactly what I'm counting on. So we'll go from a transition of that nice tealy blue to the green on top, and then the yellow speckling on top of it. coming up with a really nice moss look then. It's pulling all the colors from up underneath then and shading over them. So everywhere where it's just a flat green pops over to it then, but it looks like moss growing up on the side of it, almost like foliage. It's like really good. A bunch of my art teachers for this one. Shout out to Mr. Cody. See if he ever gets around to watching this. Probably in an hour, 20 minutes in. Yeah, just the imperfections with it give it more detail. So it looks like it pops more from it then. So, hands up like that. A log that's fallen over from it then. So now you have all this moss that's kind of grown up on the side of it. And that's grown over. And stick it together with this one onto the side over here. Push that just over here. And actually, before that falls over, I should probably close the yellow. Like that. Like the tree for it then. Get over from there. Good. The log feels like it's gone over. I'll use something with the base for it, make it a little bit moldy at the bottom, something like that. It's gone through, but yeah. So that's pretty much it. All right. Those. I'm pretty sure the main guy is more or less done. Drawing for that. So let's see. How is he right now? Okay. So the brown doesn't look like it's faded too much on him. So I'm definitely going to have to come up with some codes for it then. I think the biggest one's probably going to be the silver inlays form then. So let's start off with the hard stuff real quick. Something in there. We're going to go ahead and do some spot details. Liner? Where you at? No? Where you at? No, where you at? Yeah. Looking in the wrong direction for it. Alright, so that's going to be for the white for the eyes. Probably be black a little bit to start off with then. If I have any black left I can even use. Oh man. Oh man, look at that. There's like nothing in it. It's almost completely empty. There's like no black left. Go ahead and unstiffen this real quick. Now, if we're doing eyes, which this guy's probably not going to be able to see, normally what you want to do is create the base around him. And come up with a white around it as well. In my opinion, that's never going to really work with these guys because their eyes are just too freaking tiny. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the black to make a shade where the eye should be, like they're squinting. These are the ones I don't want to ruin them. I got brown all over my hands. Stick them over there. Oh, where's the flat? Round. Yeah, here we go. Round. Woo! Let's knock them over. Yeah, it's down here. Let's see how. I don't want it back on. We'll go with the red undercoat on him. So it pops a little bit. We'll use the flesh tone, and we'll go over with the Caspian. This is another one that's a pretty full one. I don't use this one too much. I don't know if you can see that. That one's actually really light. That's like a peach, like a fleshy peach color for them. So the only part of him that's showing is his forehead. And part of his face above his nose. So really, really light coat. Don't mind going over the beard too much because I'll come in and refine the details for it. The big stuff with the face too. To go lightly over the shaded areas. So it feels like the eyes that he has lifts up into it like he's squinting. He's got eyebrows. That might be a problem later on. We'll see. All right, so next part, we'll go ahead and start doing the base for his hair. That's the bronze. You know what? I'm going to try something for this. See if this works out. He's got a nice light for the hair. I'm going to see if I can go in with the yellow on top of it. Make an undershade using the yellow. Let's see how that comes out. And that'll come over it with the brown. Have the yellow just peek through it a little bit, like a dirty blonde look. See how that comes out. Do it for his beard too. So it's got like a two-tone with it. This is really long hair that keeps going. Except for the rest of them. Hey, Mokes. Smoky Mookie. Smoke Mocha. Come here. Yeah, I know you're hot. I know I'm feeling hot. I'm gonna crank that up to full in a bit once we're done with the stream. What's this long ones? It's getting a little bit from it. Let's go for the yellow. You guys watching? No. Yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap up for the night soon. It's about midnight right now. I know people got jobs to do tomorrow. Not me. Not me right now. Too much other crap. Yeah, what the hell? Let's get the silver on there for tonight. I'm getting tightened. Silver's almost gone. I use this for everything, including this guy, which I did last time. He came out phenomenal looking. Show you guys in the pictures. I'm starting to do the rust work up the side of them now, like I said I was going to do. But before then, more metallic looking. Aha. Let's see. I'll come in and darken it. And up the boots. That'll be for tomorrow. See if I can see it a little bit. Oh, yeah. I'm not pulling it up.